Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. In the background, waiting to come in, is Jay Daly. He's got something to say. So if you have children, please cover their ears because this is going to be very sensitive. Let's continue.
Hi everybody, it is back and Ham's Day for me, but tomorrow I am back.
I'm here, I'm back in the room.
By proper demand on YouTube, live for pre and post match on MUFC Realist. So guys, join me there, and as always, like, subscribe and share.
We are live and we have something serious to discuss today. Joining me in the studio today is Jay Daly because this is his show. But as host and owner of this platform, I got to take responsibility to say, cover your ears because this is going to be explosive rant. We also have Mark. How you doing, Mark?
I'm good, fine. How is everyone doing tonight?
Hi, Mark. Welcome. Good to see you, buddy. Welcome.
Pleasure to meet you, Jay.
So let's cut to the chase because you have 30 minutes, Jay, to tell us what's on your mind. Let's go.
Okay. I'm going to delve into what no other fan channel has the balls to delve into. The behavior of the animals from Turkey in Old Trafford on Tuesday night. Okay. Mick, you saw the WhatsApp messages that I shared with you during the week. There was coins thrown at women. One lady had to go to hospital with a face injury from a coin. There was several women assaulted in the ground by these Turkish animals. Pundit Seamus, he's on Twitter. We had a long discussion. He spoke with members of the Manchester 958 that were there in the stadium. He told me point blank, and Seamus won't mind me quoting him back because he's a good mate of mine. The stewards were told, do not intervene with the Turkish fans. So essentially, guys, the club absolutely made a balls up on security and on administration, selling tickets around the ground in the home end for real fans of his club. Back, by the way, when we used to be an actual football club. Remember that, Mick, when football club was on the badge? Remember that? Yeah. So we've had previous with Galatasary. I don't want to make this history lesson, but younger fans watching, back in 1993, we drew 3-3 at home in Old Trafford, and we drew away from home in Turkey. From the moment the lads landed in the airport, the players were getting harassed. The fans were getting assaulted. It's 1993. You would have thought, fast forward 2023, those dark days in the game would be gone. But tonight, I'm wearing this jersey because Eric Cantona that night, he's walking off the pitch, escorted by a policeman who assaulted Eric Cantona with a baton. Brian Robson's gone on record by saying Robbo went in and punched the policeman. So the club has had previous with Galatasary, right? So surely, Mick, logic would dictate from the powers that be in the club, the top boys and admin, okay, if Galatasary, it's Tuesday night, okay, we have to have that stadium on a lockdown. Ensure every fan that goes into that ground that's not a United fan is searched. You saw flares in that ground. We don't have flares in the English game. Do you want to be at a game and inhale the toxicity of a flare? Do you want a flare thrown at you? No. So clearly, the security search, these so-called fans going in, I'm going to call them animals, that's what they were, was derisory at best. The stewards didn't do their job on the search. The Tory party conference was on in Manchester on Tuesday night. 1,000 policemen and women were policing that. So surely, in planning this game at home, okay, so if the police resources are going to be at the other side of Manchester for a Tory conference, surely this night should be the away game and play the home game later on in the competition. So it's a mess up as well from Manchester Town Council and from the police. The media, Mick, are not calling this out. What happened in the stadium could have been avoided, and it wasn't. It was a shit show from start to finish. So let's park what's happened on the pitch. Let's park what's happened on the pitch for the first 15 minutes of the show. We've said in every show we've been on, Mick, since we met each other, the club is badly run from top to bottom.
100%.
So rather than having a few empty seats in the stadium, say a few hundred empty seats out of 75,000, that's no skin off the bottom line for match revenue for United. Big deal, couple hundred empty seats. Who cares? They're in the home end. And on the day, you will sell those seats to real, genuine United fans in Manchester or Ireland or parts of England. Those said, but no, the powers that be in the club pressed the panic button at the weekend and sold those tickets to non-members of the club. If I want to go to Manchester to a game, I've got to be a member of the club to buy a ticket. To buy a ticket. And the club is even cracking down on season ticket holders giving their ticket to me for a game, even though I'm a member of the club. But yet, they'll panic and sell thousands of tickets to Turks that come to the UK with a completely different socioeconomic background. And let's face it, guys, and I'm going to call it out now, a completely different mindset and way of living their lives. They are Muslims. I'm not a Muslim. I've got no problem with Muslims. I respect all faiths. However, the law should apply to Muslims, Christians, Catholics, Protestants, everybody. Across the board, the same law should apply. And any foreign person coming to a game in Ireland, England, UK, Italy, France, Spain, the same rules, the same law should apply. Clearly, on Tuesday night in Old Trafford, there was a hands-off approach by the club and by the stewards. Oh, don't intervene because they're Turks. Don't intervene because they're Muslims. We don't want to be branded racist. How about do your job? Protect the safety of the real fans. You've got a duty of care to every member of the public in that ground. Home and away fans combined, duty of care. The club dropped the ball on the duty of care. Now, you sent me pictures, and I won't mention the guy's name, who suffered horrific injuries at the stadium. And I hope this gentleman sues the pants off the club.
He did.
I hope he does. I don't want to say any more. I don't want to say any more because I don't want to compromise the case in any way. But I hope the gentleman takes the club to the cleaners. I really do.
He did.
Yeah.
So before we continue,
go ahead.
Just as a reference, people, there's nothing about xenophobia. There's nothing about religion or anything else. I just want to sort of stop you there for a while as well, Jay. That in terms of the World Cup influence, the whole world was intervening with Qatar to implement that rainbow movement, and because we didn't respect their values to say we are against the homosexuality and stuff like that. But they still have to come and made a meal out of it. But here it was totally nothing. It was swept under the carpet. You got to call a spade, comparing apples to apples and apples to pears.
Now, on the World Cup, I did not watch the World Cup. I would not let my son watch the World Cup because of what the World Cup stood for. Point blank. No, wouldn't watch it. I've been watching World Cups since Mexico '86 as a very, very, very young child. It's the first World Cup I didn't watch, but I digress. That was my personal belief, and I have my morals and whatnot. That's me. Last, I just want to finish up this segment because I don't want to take up too much of the airtime on this.
No. You have creativity.
The club gross negligence on behalf of the powers that be of the club caused injury and assault to female fans. That gentleman that we all really alluded to. Probably fathers, mothers with their children, scared children that might never want to go to Old Trafford again. And let's face it, guys, to bring a family to Old Trafford for an evening out to any game, it ain't cheap.
No, it's not. It's a family event.
It's mega money. It's mega money. So the duty of care to those fans was not exercised by the club. The club were grossly negligent in the administration of selling tickets to those fans. They were grossly negligent in the security in the ground, and they were negligent in standing back and permitting these animals to remove the Busby banner. Remember the Busby banner around the stadium? Mm. That banner was removed, and the stewards were told to stand back and let that happen. Now, we're all men of principle here. Somebody comes to your home. They respect your home. They respect your surroundings. They respect everything. You're in someone's house. You are a guest in my house. You respect my house. You respect my norms. If you don't respect my house, my norms, my possessions, what happens, Mick? What would you do? You tell the person to what?
Yeah.
And I'm very mindful now, I agree with them, and I'm not going to curse.
In my house, for instance, very strict rules. You know, in some cultures, people walk in with shoes. They sit on the sofa with shoes. In my house, no. That's no. Like, you take your shoes outside the door, please. You know, and if you don't follow, go.
So your own house, Mark. You got your own rules in your house.
Yeah,
that must be respected. Because it's your house, mate. It's your house. I come to your house. I respect your house. I respect your home. You come to mine, Mark. I hope someday we get to meet. You respect my home. So these Turkish scumbags came into Old Trafford and disrespected our house. Right? The media, their silence on that point is deafening. Because they don't want to touch it because they are Turks. Now flip a switch. A few weeks' time, we play Man City. Man City fans behave in the same manner of those Turkish animals. Rip down the signage, iconic signage by Busby and Ferguson. Assault women. Throw coins at fans. What would the media do, Mark? The English media, the world's media. Thank you, sir. Now, I'm glad I've had time now to get this opportunity to get this off my chest, because I saw those images, Mick and Mark. It's like alliteration, Mick and Mark alliteration. And I was absolutely disgusted. I could not believe. And I was looking on my Twitter timeline, and then I was looking at the newspaper articles and trying to see, what strand and what was the feel. And it was just silence.
Nothing.
So I thought, right, nobody has the balls to go on a channel and say this. I thought, well, we sure as hell do, and I'm glad we are. Like, subscribe, and share.
Thank you. And you can ask the question, where are you now, Miguel Delaney, independent? You were so vocal about doing sports washing and human rights and everything. Where are you now, Miguel Delaney?
Silence is deafening, Mick and Mark.
Facts. I mean, they need to start taking a more serious approach to these things, because at the same time, it's like the negligence to not protect the safety of match-going fans, regardless of home and away. You know what I mean? There needs to be these. You can't have these things happening. They shed a bad light on football. You know what I mean? Like years ago, they used to call football fans hooligans.
Yeah.
And now we say we don't have those things anymore. But look, it's happening right now. And it's like no one's just like talking about it. It's crazy. Hopefully something becomes of this and we never see those things happen again, because that's dangerous.
But Mark, that could have been avoided if the club had exercised proper professionalism and due diligence. I put the question to every watching people in the VAR room.
But I pose the question, though.
The club is now so unprofessional on every level, from training to coaching, administration. Everything is just amateur. It's amateur hour on every level.
I'll pose the question, if you may ask. There should be a process in place, and there is a process in place. And I even heard that they did the same thing towards the Copenhagen game as well, Champions League. Are they so broke that they have to, violate these, occupational health and safety protocols? Never do I see. I've been on a lot of away games. I'm a traveling fan. And never do I see to sit like 1,000 fans in the middle of a home stand. Never. Because that's the
Doesn't
thing
happen.
that you don't do. We've seen what happened like Liverpool, Juventus. You've seen all the hooligans clashes. We've seen the destruction before. What the fuck are you thinking? Who is in charge? Who is incompetent? That person needs to be called out. No, instead of coming out with some excuses to say maybe it was UEFA ticketing system. Maybe it's not
Bullshit.
us.
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
Greed.
Listen, if I come there
Wanton
with my
greed.
son, I take him to Old Trafford, his first game. I come there to sit in peace and calm with my family to watch football, not to get harassed. And little do I expect to have violent hooligans sitting in my section, because they should be separated. Haven't we learned this from?
They shouldn't be in the ground. There's just two sports, Mick and Mark, I know of where the fans mingle intermittently. There's no home or away. Rugby, because I'm a massive rugby fan, and American football. And there's never trouble. It's not part of the culture. It's not there. The fans mingle. It's not part of the culture. I know in football, historically, it's so tribal. It is there. And the tribalism still exists. So because the tribalism still exists and will always exist, like we all want rivalry between clubs. It's natural. It's normal. And I hope that never goes away. Like, however, it goes back to due diligence and duty of care.
Exactly.
And the worst thing is, gentlemen, I don't think anybody in the club will get fired because of this gross incompetence and negligence. And I go as far as to say dereliction of duty. Nobody's going to be fired.
I know one person that's going to get fired right now because he's always late. Do you know who that is, Jay?
Mr. Jarvis.
Mr. Jarvis in the building. How are you doing, my friends?
Good. Fashionably late as usual.
Fashionably late.
You know, I'm stressing around. I have kids. I have a family. Everything needs to be done around 8 o'clock. So just the way it is. But finally, I'm here. I'm sorry.
It's my fault. It's my fault, Jarvis. I'd come on early tonight. It's my fault. So
yeah, we were supposed to go at 9 o'clock.
Well, it's
Sorry.
good.
it's my fault. It's my fault. Okay.
I like to go on early as well because, you know, otherwise I never go to sleep, and that's the thing. So did you hear what we were talking about, Jarvis?
Yeah, I caught the last couple of minutes about you. You were talking about the tickets and the away fans mingling with the home fans. And I heard your point, Jay. You said that this is also in all American sports. I've been to like NHL hockey matches in the States. They mingle. You have away fans and home fans sitting among each other and having a good time. You know, I remember.
And you can drink. And Jarvis, you can drink in the ground. You can buy a beer in the ground.
Yeah, you can buy a beer, and
no one ever does anything. Yeah.
So I love going to American, but it's more like a show, you know. You have all the cheerleaders and the fireworks and the music, and everybody has like a big foam finger, and you know, it's more about individualism and how they support the club. It's not like a supportive group of people. So that's, I think, why they accept like mingling the fans all together. I remember it was one time at in Boston, and I watched Chicago Blackhawks and Boston Bruins play a game. And in one of the half times, I think it's called the half times in hockey, I'm not sure, but there was one guy from Chicago in the restroom, and there was like 100 Boston Bruins fans. And everybody just pointed at him and laughed. But, you know, it was like tribalism, but it was funny. Everybody had a good time. So it was not aggressive at all. And, to be fair, it's a good thing by American culture about that. But I just got to say, I sent an email to Man United yesterday about this and said it was outrageous. They can't mix fans. And I got a reply from Man United also.
Go ahead.
If you give me 2 seconds, Mick, if you just wait, I will need to.
Sure. No, I'm just going to call out a super chat that just came in here with an uppercut from Tox Kasim saying that the UK and the EPL government needs to step in and make the Glazers to sell now. 100% agree with you. And I rest assured that you wouldn't believe it, the governments have more influence than you think when it comes to sports as well.
Exactly.
You know, it's very geopolitical, and they should definitely step in and do something. Before you continue, Jarvis, also, I want to continue on a statement that was also released that I got from you, Jay. You sent me this. It was necessary to make this statement due to the behavior of the British officials authorities during the return of the plane carrying the Galatasaray team after the match we played and won against Manchester United. This is from 1958, though. Disrespectful behavior towards our team's players, technical staff, and employees. So they were rude to everyone, pretty much. There was just like a bunch of animals that you just released from the zoo, right? Even making troubles at the Manchester airport as well. So basically, which started with the difficulties caused by the British Consulate General in Istanbul during the visa processes, right? Continued during our team's entry to England. This is actually a statement from Galatasary, though. I'm sorry. This is translated from the Galatasaray one.
It's the one I sent you last night, remember?
Yeah. So basically, and as last night, it has turned into immortal threat treatment and contrary universal human rights values. So now they're going on the human rights values. So this is coming from the Galatasaray. I'm sorry, I read the wrong statement here. So this is coming from their fan base site, right? The departure of our team flight, which took place late last night, was unnecessarily prolonged with meaninglessly detailed baggage checks and was tried to be turned into torture. In this process, the behavior of officials, the disrespect and arrogance indicators the attitude taken towards our country. It should be known that no one can treat the players, technical staff, and managers of the Galatasaray Sports Club. It's turning into a geopolitics.
Now, that statement was issued last night by Galatasary FC. That's statement, right? That's nothing more than classic deflection tactics. Deflect away from the behavior of our fans.
Exactly.
And play the woe is me card because we had to go through security checks, as does every traveler leaving any country. That's absolute bullshit statement right there.
That is just a deflection. I mean, in the first place, where did it all go wrong? How could you have sold? How many tickets was it? 2,000, 10,000?
The reports are varying between 2 and 6. It's varying. I don't have an exact figure.
There were about approximately 10,000 away fans in the ground yesterday.
They have to get 5% on UEFA rules. The away club has to get 5% of ticket allocation under UEFA rules. Yeah.
You don't. That is the rule of thumb. You don't put away fans in the mixing together. That is just sabotage.
5% also is 3,500.
Yeah,
Okay.
so there you go.
Or 4,200, give or take.
Yeah.
Listen.
So the excess then was purchased through the United website when the United administrators literally panicked. Oh my God, we're going to have some empty seats. Instead of offering them to real fans at a knockdown price, if they were so adamant to fill the seats and wanted revenue, well, sell them £50 a head. English and Irish people snapped them up.
Yeah. We could have needed extra support there on the pitch from homegoing fans. Definitely. Oh, it's a tragedy. This club is a freaking mess, to be honest. But we gotta celebrate another super chat that's just coming right now. Jarvis, are you ready? Super chat from Nigel Flynn, one of our members.
Nigel.
Big up, Nigel. Jay, is a question for you, Jay. Do you think it may possibly have to be done on purpose? The club is being sabotaged in a lot of ways, different ways. Leaks, leaflets. Now maybe some staff has had enough. Ten Hag forever.
Nigel Flynn, first of all, thanks for super chat. If that is the case, that would be, if that was fact, that would be actually startling that, club administrators are trying to sabotage the club from the inside because they're so disgruntled. Nigel, I don't believe that's the case. I just think last Tuesday night is just a microcosm of the sheer incompetence and amateurs of the staff.
Actually, Nigel, what you just said here, they crossed my mind yesterday as well. Honest to God, is there a fifth column inside that's making this happening right now because they are tired? Because if you look at it, like, you know, they've not been communicated. The staff that hasn't been told anything if their jobs are safe. They're not getting their pre-show salary raises. Nothing. And that fosters kind of like unloyalty and tyranny in a way. Could be plausible. We shouldn't rule out anything here. So big up for you, Nigel, to be honest. So listen, it is damning, and I'm more upset that, you know, British media is not covering them, but they can cover anything else, gash about Manchester United. They can come into press conferences and ask about Jadon Sancho. When it comes to our fans, they don't care. That proves you what kind of journalism.
Or they'll spend every opportunity asking about Harry Maguire, darling of the English media.
Yep. Which, by the way, we're going to discuss about today as well. There's a few things we're going to discuss before you go, but first and foremost,
we got 4 minutes.
First and foremost, a little bit of a special milestone as of today. We have just now reached 17,000 subscribers. Just now. Big up. Thank you so much. I don't know who became, we were 2 away when we started the stream, but thank you so much for joining and subscribing. We are now on the road on 20,000. Let's do this, people. Let's go to 20,000. It's been a lot of hard work, grafting, and everyone that's coming in here. The big up to VER and big up for everyone that subscribed, the moderators. So forever grateful. And Jay and Mark and Jarvis. We are a real anti-clickbait fan channel. No corporates backing us. We're independent. Jarvis, you have something to say. You look like
I just want to say
about the family.
Pop quiz to the panel. Which player at United has the number 17 on his back?
Garnacho.
Yeah. And we are now officially Garnacho.
We are a Garnacho, 17.
17.
That's a lucky number. Listen, Jay, before you go, I want to hear your opinion, because what's been dominating in the press has been kind of damning what Eric Ten Hag has come out and say. He hasn't really said it directly, but he's kind of indicated about the mentality of certain players, you know, that he has to go a little bit of a gentle because they have fragile mindsets. I want to hear who they are, but we can sort of understand who they are. I want to hear your opinion.
Okay, so first of all, we're saying this is true, right? The same fragile mindsets couldn't cope with Jose Mourinho, a natural-born winner, a natural-born motivator, and I thought an excellent man manager. They were all happy, wrapped around the shroud of empathy and togetherness fostered by the charlatan Solskjaer. They were all happy. But at the end, when the losses pile up, they even threw him under the bus. So now we have Ten Hag. Authoritarian, yeah. I think every job needs someone who's the authoritarian. He clearly, as we discussed in other shows, he's playing his favourites. And I think playing favourites this season would probably see Ten Hag finish probably 9th, 10th place, which we agreed on a previous show we want, because we don't want to be Conference League next season or Europa League. So in any walk of life, the manager, the boss, the CEO has every right to call out an underperforming staff member. Not every staff member responds to the blood and thunder, bollocking and screaming. I get that. Management styles have changed. We know that. But any leader has the right to criticize consistent underperformance. And when a staff member cannot take on board the feedback that their superior is given them in any business or walk of life, apart from football, that staff member ultimately goes through 2 performance appraisals, and ultimately that staff member is found surplus to requirements. So you asked me, Mick, what players do I feel are the ones that are soft. To coin what phrase I use a lot of the time, a soft cock. Rashford, Bruno.
Yeah, and
Rashford. Hey, I'm not finished. Rashford, Bruno, Maguire, Scott McSideways, Onana. Onana talks a great game in front of cameras. Onana's mouth checks his body can cash. There's 6 right there. That's 6 players. It's half your team. So if half your team are soft cocks and can take feedback and criticism, you're on a hiding to nothing in any business or any sports team.
Yeah. I remember a famous quote from a movie. I can't remember which one it was. It's a drill sergeant coming in and say, "Drop your cocks and grab your socks."
That could be Full Metal Jacket, possibly.
Yeah, it is.
Or I've got one for you. It is, and I'll leave you on this. I'll leave you on this one. It's The Rock. It's Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage. Connery quips to Nicolas Cage, "Losers almost whine about doing their best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen."
Listen, at the end of the day,
Like that.
listen, guys.
So I would leave you on that bombshell.
Before you go, stay, because we have a special announcement here as well. Oh my God! Angie, we see you, we feel you, we love you. Thank you for your 20 donated membership. You are a trooper of this channel. You're a legend. You're always there supporting, backing every stream we have. You're there moderating and gifting from your heart.
Thanks, Angie.
We love you, Angie. Thank you so much. Sorry for coming in late here. There was a couple of people that became members here. Jimmy, you can say, like, I don't know. Do you have any I lost my track here, but anyway, anyone that became a member, welcome anyway. So much grateful. And we also have a super chat, I think, that just came in here as well, before we go as well, because at the end of the day, like, before you go, Muhammad Ali saying criticism should only make you stronger, not weaker. 100%.
Agreed. Great comment.
Thank you, Muhammad. Thank you so much. Jay, thank you so much for coming in. I understand you have to rush for a rugby meeting.
So see you Saturday, guys.
Yep. Saturday, we see you Saturday.
See you, chaps. Good night. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Bye, Jarvis. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Facts. What do we do on this channel? Facts.
I just want to say again, thank you to Angie. She always gives away memberships, and that's fantastic. You are making this channel much better. So thank you again, Angie. You're the star of the show. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Yeah, you almost crying there, Jarvis, out of joy.
But
seriously, I cannot thank you more than enough, Angie. Like, from the day when you came in, you've been like, the caretaker of the VR room and just gifting and gifting. I love people like that. They're not selfish. They're thinking about, helping others to grow. And, for every single donation, every super chat goes into the production, goes into the team. And eventually, like, we don't make money enough, but eventually I can pay this guy real money instead of Snickers.
I told you got to try M&Ms.
But you know what? We still have to be Ten Hag. We have to be authoritarians to punish Jarvis every time he comes late, right? Don't we do that, Mark?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You got to set the standards.
Mick, I want to go back to the email because I put it in the live chat. I just want to read it because I think United don't take responsibility on the answer of this email. But give me a second. I just going to scroll up till I find it.
Sure. No, that's fine because Jay was here on a short notice, like he had to go. So everyone that's tuning in, big up. Thank you for coming. I forgot to shout you out, everyone that's tuning in today. I know Liverpool is playing, but dear Jarvis, thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, this is the email. Thank you for taking the time to contact the club. We notice your strength of feelings in this issue. We are aware of the number of tickets that appear to be unofficially accessed and transferred to Galatasaray fans for this game, so they know. We reassure you that all tickets were allocated to season tickets holders or official members, and anyone with a Turkish address was prevented from buying. Just gonna do the next slide. From buying tickets, which is our default process for all European fixtures. So basically, they're saying they didn't sell any tickets to the Galatasaray fans. They say all tickets were allocated in line with the club safety operating manual, which forms parts of our safety certificate and and approved by the local authorities. Following the game, we have recommended changes to this policy, which will be implemented when approved by to further prevent this issue from occurring again in the future. And this is the last one. We are continuing to investigate to fully understand that the cause of the issue and will provide an update in our fans forum next week. So basically, they're saying we didn't do anything. We didn't sell those tickets. And this is the official statement from the club. I find it very strange.
You know what I find very strange, Jarvis? I read that statement word for word tonight 7 different times on Twitter from 7 different fans. I want to say the statement word for word. The only difference was your name, their names. Everything else is identical.
Yeah, so
It's like
basically
they
it was a cut and paste.
They cut and paste. You know what I mean? Because I emailed Manchester United about it as well. So I'm pretty sure I got an email and I will send it to you. Sure. I will check for it and send it to you because I read that on Twitter before the show started 7 different times by 7 different fans.
It's automated. As soon as you send that email, you get an auto reply 1 minute later with the same answer. So that it's been damage control. That's what you do. Risk analysis. The PR team has got together, composed one email, and it's kind of deflection. Okay, so and then how did it end up in those fans' hands then? Does that mean that they are deflecting to say the members sold these tickets to the Turkish fan outside the ground, which is absolutely BS, right?
We know it's BS.
Yeah, because then he came out to say that did the same thing towards the home game against Copenhagen, which they kind of said they're working on to retract that. So are you so desperate to make money to sell as much, premium seat to premium price? Is that the question here? Is it greed over safety?
I'll tell you what it is, because it have seats available for the Copenhagen game at home, and it had for the Galatasary game, but those seats coupled with like a museum visit, a tour, different things that are part of the club, and those are the tickets that they're selling. Those tickets are 175 to 250. It have some for 845 to. For the Bayern Munich game at United, there are tickets for $1,850.
Oh, it's like you're selling the whole package, which gets you more money. So basically, the whole zoo tour. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
that's the game experience.
Because today the away tickets for Copenhagen sold out.
Freaking greedy bastards!
Yesterday and this morning. Yesterday 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. This morning 10 a.m.
So who is
5 p.m.
responsible for the? There must be somebody that's not thinking from a footballing matter. Like that surely has to go all the way to the CEO, right? Who is responsible? The main head, Arnold.
Yeah. Well, I've read on Twitter that there are a lot of fans, right, who have season tickets, and what they do is they donate the season tickets to the foundation. And a few of those fans will add the game, so they bought extra other tickets otherwise, right? But they donated their season tickets to the foundation, and they will add the game, and Galatasaray fans were sitting in their seats. So they are the ones who are actually on Twitter questioning how did the Galatasaray fan get their hands on their season ticket when it was given to the foundation. So that's the problem.
Again, 17,000 subscribers. I feel happy today. It's a milestone. Thank you, community. Thank you for coming together. I'm broken.
2023.
I'm like Nuruddin the other day. I was broken. I had, you know how hard it is to come here and press record and talk after a loss. And when you love this club, no, like your family, everyone that comes in here, you're like my family. You, Jarvis, we come close to each other because we share the same passion. We want to win. We want to be great. But when somebody that's running the club and that, you know, board or what do you call it, senior directors don't have the same vision, that is the problem. And that is kind of breaking my heart. But I still have believed that we will turn the page. You know, Ten Hag he's been dealt a very bad hand this season, to be honest. Like, you know, he didn't deserve this. He did not deserve this. Everyone was backing, everyone was joyful and cheerful when we like kind of came into the transfer window. We were going places. Ten Hag, the savior. Everyone was like, you know, giving him his roses. Right? Where did it all go wrong? Isn't it clear that it's a sabotage towards the manager in a way? Like, you know, you pull the rug under his feet. You don't want him to succeed. When you finish third and get a trophy, I mean, what is the logical next step? Is to elevate, isn't it? It's to elevate. But instead of elevation, they want you to fall further down. Right? We made our money now. Thank you for making us back into the Champions League. Now we're going to close the tap on you. Now we're going to sabotage all your transfers. Whatever list you gave us, we're going to give you other options. So he had to fight with his tooth and nail to get certain players over the line. And still trying to implement the style of play, which it's impossible when you have so many injuries and you're not getting everyone. I mean, he hasn't even started his preferred starting 11 yet. He doesn't even know what his starting 11 is as of yet. He hasn't had the opportunity. But we as a fans, global fan base, this is what I've been seeing ever since I joined Twitter, especially Twitter, is that we have peripheral vision, tunnel vision. We are looking for quick fixes, meaning sacking the manager, everything will be fine. Sack that player, sell the player, we will be fine. But what about the long-term vision? Where is the problem? The problem is what you can see yesterday, Newcastle, for instance. Compare what Newcastle was under Mike Ashton and compare Newcastle under PIF right now. They've been doing it organically, but look at them now. All they did is to put a proper sporting vision structure, slowly, like, you know, backing the manager with players, understanding his playing vision and style and recruiting in those players. Bruno Guimaraes, Tonali, and more to come. And they're cooking. The belief is there. Happiness. If it comes all the way from the board, if they have the same message going down all the way down to the dressing room, of course it's going to be positive because everyone is on the same bandwagon. Everyone understands what needs to be done. But Manchester United, it's broken. There's no communication. Glazers are not talking. Glazers has left it to Arnold and Murtaugh and Woodward in the past to run the club because for them was just an investment and a cash cow. Isn't it so? Right. Even when they come over, they didn't even know which team was which. Like, you know, oh, is this our player? Right? The only ball they know is egg-shaped, and that's played in NFL. That's what they call football. Over there, they call it soccer, but football for us, it's our religion. It's our family. So I pray to God, the only thing that I want for this club and for my brothers and sisters in arms in red is that we be soon enough that we will see some changes. We need some TLC. We need to feel loved again. We need to be united again. Right now, the way it is, Glazers are winning because their strategy is divide and conquer. Has always been. Just go back, remind yourself. Every second year, manager sack. Every second year, pull the plug. Every second year. If you think that you're going to get a new manager without backing again, we're going to be here in 18 months talking the same story again. So, but Mark was saying to me today, you know, the definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. So I think it's time for us to wise up, be more intelligent, back the club, not the leaders and the board, back the football operation, believe. It took Klopp 3 years to get where he was. It took even Pep Guardiola also the same. But they already made it for Pep Guardiola. They already established all the processes, all the staff, all the operations. If you look at our muscle injuries that we have, look at the sports science department, totally neglected. Look at the equipment, look at everything around you, and you expect us to compete? Erik ten Hag is doing magical stuff, but he's been handed a very bad card. It's not his job to deal with Jadon Sancho's story. It's not his job to deal with, Mason Mount. No, it's a Mason Greenwood story. It was not his job to deal with mental issues, but he tried. He put an arm around the shoulder, off you go, son. But they're thinking, no, we're going to throw you under the bus because I get paid $350 a week. I got player power. What he came out in this statement in today, for me, was in a way to say, I benched players before, right? I benched Onana before. I can bench him. I benched Cristiano Ronaldo. I can bench him. But why doesn't he bench Rashford? Because he probably sees something. He sees that he will come good. It's just his confidence. The whole team right now, barring what's going on off the field, of course they are fucking out of confidence. Media is attacking us. Everyone is attacking us. And the last thing they want is for us to give up on them. I back my club. I love my club. I'm Patriot Red. And I will back this club no matter what. I will back every decision that the manager is doing from right now, even if it's selecting the teams, because I'm not selecting this team. He selects the team. Come what may. But I'm positive right now that I believe he's got it in him. He showed it before that he can turn this around. Like Mark was saying today, what happened? We went on an extreme mad run. We got flogged. We had a bad start of the season. We didn't have a proper preseason because the club's planning is poor. And this season around, we had 4 weeks rest of holiday. The ones that played international football got an extra week off. Then we flew off to the PR tour in America, played on AstroTurf. Not only we did pick up a lot of injuries, but Arsenal that played there as well experienced injuries. How many games did we play last season? We played 64. More than everyone else. 64 games. 3 games a week. I just pray to God that everyone is coming back fit and healthy so we can start kicking on. Because if you look at it, football is non-linear. Form is not non-linear. Form can come and go, right? It can come and go. We've been having a bad form, bad luck. But the last game we played at Galatasary, you could saw that we played good football. It wasn't bad. It was more the shock that we say everything was shit. But if we didn't have a proper defense, that we didn't have players that played in the right positions, he had to mix it up, right? So I'm sure he has addressed it, and I'm sure that Reguilon is coming back, what the reports are saying. We're getting balance. We're getting Malacia back. We're getting full squad back almost. Kobe Mainu, right? Højlund, I want to touch base on Højlund. Start building the game around him. We've seen what he can do. He's only 20, but the ability, he plays like a 27-year-old in positioning. The way he reads the game, his speed, his tenacity, his hold-up play. I want to hear from you, Jarvis. Rasmus Højlund has arrived. We didn't believe that he would be that successful. It's still too early, but 3 goals in 2 matches. Almost a hat-trick.
He looked fantastic. I just want to say he had he reminded me of and the second goal, or the goal that was disallowed, reminded me of Ruud van Nistelrooy, the composure inside the box. He wasn't afraid. There was no panic. He just took the ball, make a little twist with his feet, and put it in the net. But unfortunately, it was an offside. But the second goal from Højlund, when he ran through and showed his speed, pace and strength. That was fantastic. That's world class striker material. And he's 20. Is he 20 or 21 years old? So
It's
20.
20,
yeah,
20.
he's 20 years old. We have him for 12 more years. If he
Unbelievable.
can develop,
Imagine.
he could be a fantastic, a legendary United striker. But okay,
Yeah.
of course, he has to prove it first. But I must say, he really impressed me. But we gotta remember, he's young.
He's young.
His performances will go up, and he will have world class performances as he had that day. But he will also have bad performances. So we got to remember this. He's young, give him time. But now we have seen his potential.
Yeah.
So it's about supporting him and backing him, and think ahead.
VR room. Sorry, we have not deliberately neglected you. Normally we shout out Dobroveče Miloš, Dobroveče Jarvis, Dobroveče Mark. Is what he's saying, and everyone knows what Dobroveče means now. It's good
Yes,
evening from
Dobroveče.
Serbia. Rush Mano is here as well. RG is here. Muhammad Ali, thank you for your super chat. Welsh Girl is saying that Rasmus Højlund is class, and that's the thing. Like, we have a legend. I mean, we've seen the talent, we've seen the desire to make it happen, and what excites me is when we're playing Copenhagen, he's going to play against his brother.
I don't want us to hype up Rasmus too much, but you see that goal he scored when he ran down that way, showing all the pace and everything, and show the power to shrug off the defender, right? The most important part of that for me was his finish. The touch, the deftness of his touch to put that ball. He didn't hit a banger. He didn't place it. He just
Controlled.
controlled the ball and put it around the keeper. You see, those kind of things make a striker terrifying for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the
it shows
offside goal also.
It shows the
offside.
level of ability of a striker.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean, but look at that goal that was ruled out from offside, right?
Yeah, that's a good
Look
goal.
how cool and composed he sort of dummy hit the guy, like, and just like poof, proper striker's goal as well.
Yeah.
Also, the first goal, like, it's also proper strikers. It's just bang. And I didn't see where did that come from, like, what
Those
I
three
mean.
goals show three different types of
he's
assets in
arrived.
game. A poacher, a header, and a striker who could take it from half line on the break.
But imagine, like, in front of Theodore Dreams, you scored 2 goals, right? You're a boyhood fan, like ever since you were a child. You come in there, you score 2, a brace, almost got a hat trick. Hat tricks will come, people. Hat tricks. Somebody was saying that. Hang on, I think it was Rush Miner saying he has a sneaky good feeling regarding Brentford. Actually, do you guys think that we're angry now? Do you think that we will have a response?
I think we will have a striker that will be leading the response from the front, because this young fella looked very hungry, and at the rate he's scoring, and I'm not just saying this, at the rate he's scoring, I bet on him to score every game he play right now, because he looking like he's showing different types of goals, and that's another thing that's dangerous too. He's not just showing one type of goal, he's showing different types of goals. So this is a striker who could score goals. You know what I mean? He's a threat. So
okay. Thank you, Peter Alien Tenor, for your super chat. And you
Thank
saying
you,
that
Peter.
speech brought tears to my eyes. Peter, was that my speech or was it Jay's speech? I guess it was my speech, right?
Doesn't matter. Tears in Peter's eyes.
No, but it came straight from my heart. It's not a rant. It just come from my heart the way I feel, I spend, I think, 12 hours a day with Manchester United. That's what I do. I wake up thinking about United. I go to sleep thinking about United. My wife hates me for that. She said, United destroyed our marriage. I'm sorry. I was a United fan before you met me. That's just part of my DNA. Anyway, guys, big up for all of you for coming in here as well, because we are going on a factor. And Jarvis has something to say.
But I just want to show Rushmano sent me a picture from the home stage at the game. If you see here, you see the empty seats, and there's a label on it, and the label says guests. And that's inside the home stands of Man United, Old Trafford. So there's no way the club can say that they didn't know about it. So basically the email was pure BS, and this is picture proof.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Soon is not soon enough. Soon we will have a resolution. Soon we need a a statement, a green light to say who are waiting for the ownership. That's it. King Stash, brother, thank you so much. You have been a member for 1 month. Keep supporting us,
big up,
brother.
King
Big up
Stash.
to you, King Stash. I like that name, King Stash. Where do you stash your money, my friend? Buy us. Yeah, it was from 1958 by Rushmano. It's from the 1958. Yeah, big up 1958 as well. Listen, we do have a game to play. We did a little bit of a pre-match. Tomorrow is the manager's presser. I will cover this live as well. So whoever wants to join me, have a call in afterwards as well. Please welcome. I think it's about 2:30 UK time or something like that, or 1:30 UK time. I think 1:45 usually. Now let's talk a little bit about that game. We had to sort of get rid of. I mean, call it out, call this spade a spade, because nobody's talking about it. We are the only channel that dares talk about it. Regarding Brentford, Thomas Frank is coming with his team. They're lacking confidence. We are hungry. We are angry. We want to make a statement. We play good football. First time I've seen that we have been dominating the ball. We created all the chances and we fell asleep and lost that ball. We should have won 3-1 instead of them 3-2. But I believe that Ten Hag is angry. I believe he's identified the problems. We've gone through the lineup today, me and Mark. Yeah. But should I just pull it in as well?
Yeah. Let's see what Jarvis has to say about that lineup.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I want to see the lineup.
Okay, let me share the screen then. Because we did a lineup today. Let me just.
I will try to be positive. I won't slate it. I will say yeah.
I think you might agree with it more than likely. You might have your disagreements, but on reality, based on what we think, this is a possibility.
This is the possibility, though. Reguilón is reported that he's coming back and he's going to be available for the game. So naturally, he's going to play natural left winger. That means that finally Amrabat can slot into his natural position, playing that deep CDM role alongside with Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes. Lindelof, Varane will play, and Diego Dalot will play on the right. We made an assumption that Onana will not be dropped, because if you drop Onana, his confidence will be dropped, and that's why I don't believe Bayandil will play. Garnacho instead of Rashford. Rashford needs to be dropped. And by the way, Rashford was announced today by Gareth Southgate, picked him, and guess who? Harry Maguire for the internationals. So Southgate picks his favorites for sure. Fernandes and Anthony, I believe, slots right back into his position, and Højlund 100% on top. I want to hear from you.
Oh, Jarvis, before you start, I wanted to pose a question to you, right? I was just thinking earlier on, what if he drops Anthony on the left and he plays Palestri on the right, or maybe someone else, Mount?
You say you put Anthony on the left. Yeah. Why would you put Anthony on the left? For his crossing abilities with his left foot?
Natural left winger, I guess.
No, don't jinx it.
No, I'm just asking.
Dude, we are talking about putting back the balance play players in a natural position. Mark.
No, I want him on the right wing. I was just asking Jarvis, because I know Jarvis has he has his different ideas about the team. So.
Okay,
yeah. Well, I get what you're saying, Mark, and I just want to reply to that and say I kind of agree, because now it's about building the team, as Mick said the other day, building the team around Højlund. And to build the team around Højlund, it's not about the individual inside forwards. It's about getting to the byline and getting the crosses in for Højlund. We saw it at the first goal when Rashford passed to him. He was there because he's fast enough. He can be in front of goal. So in a way, it's not a bad idea. I don't think it's the way Ten Hag wants to play, but let's see what he can figure out.
We always say in the fan base to say Mount and Bruno cannot play together. So something has got to give. Alien Tenno is saying drop Bruno and play Mount instead. Would it be that he could rest Bruno in this case? Can he rest Bruno and Rashford at the same time and just go with the team that works, right?
I just
Again, we
want
need
to.
energy, we need focus, we need concentration levels. I mean, the front four is doing it. They're doing the job right now. It's just the back four that is leaking goals.
On this lineup, I agree when it comes to. I disagree a little bit when it comes to Bruno. I would have put Hannibal in that position because for me we need legs.
Question
I,
is,
I
will he
think
drop Bruno?
I don't think so, but I believe in need legs, and Hannibal he knows how to run, and he can even run with the ball. So I think that's an important thing, and Bruno doesn't do that. He tries the Hollywood pass. We know how Bruno plays.
Do you need legs?
So Lieutenant Dan need legs, but
His legs. You can borrow mine if you want.
well,
They're old, but they can still run.
I don't know what to do with Bruno at the moment. I feel he doesn't suit our style. He's the captain and he's a high-paid player. He's got a new contract right before Ten Hag came in. Yet again, a club who doesn't think ahead.
Yeah, but he's the captain. That means that he carries the responsibility because there's a lot of shit going around the squad at the moment. So nobody talks about that one. As a captain, as a leader, you make sure that everything is all right. They are mates as well. If you watch that interview with the overlap with Gary Neville and Beckham and all that, when Beckham was having that bad 1998, was it? He said there was one thing that always that can come back to, that was my teammates, because I knew I was protected by Kino and everyone else. So Kino was the captain, and that is the captain's job as well, to protect your teammates, to be the representative, off the pitch and on the pitch, in a way. So there's been a lot of things to handle for Bruno. So instead of us just playing football, we've been dealing with a lot of issues.
I'd like to make one conjectural point on Bruno. And to be fair, I don't want to sound like I'm backing the player or anything. I just want to say this contextually. I cannot really criticize Bruno when he's played on the right wing. Bruno is a cam. He's the best, and he always delivers when he plays off the middle.
Yeah,
so
true.
I honestly would only criticize him if he drops a shit performance in the middle of the park. Playing off the right, now I'm not going to forgive him for dropping a shit performance, but I cannot really criticize him. It's not his game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, Jarvis.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Take care of the family. Idiot. Jarvis, did anyone tell you you're an idiot?
Yes, I am.
King Stash, we haven't forgot you. Thank you for Australian dollars. Aussie dollars 5 donation. Big up, mate. Big up. Aussie. Oi. Big up, mate. Because of the hole in the midfield, our unbalanced back line and goalkeeper who concedes 2 or more goals, we must outscore opponents. Glory, Man United. 100%, mate. King Stash, you're a legend, mate. Which part of Australia are you from, mate? Are you from Sydney, Perth, Adelaide, Brizzy? I love Australia. I lived there for 10 years, mate. Whoa. It's beautiful. It's wild.
I think he had a good comment about the hole in the midfield, because I see it myself. For me, I think it's a structural thing, a tactical thing when it comes to Ten Hag's formation, the 3-1-6. I don't agree in it. I think it makes us too vulnerable because our center backs are not good enough at the moment. We don't have Martinez in the lineup. And you saw it with Zaha's goal that Diego Dalot, for example, man against man, is not strong enough to be so exposed, and we don't have the shielding from the midfield to our defense. We have seen that the biggest problem is deep late runs into our box when the opposition attacks on the flanks. We saw it against Brighton a couple of times. They came around, 45 degrees back. We saw it in the first goal with Welbeck. We saw it against Bayern Munich, Gnabry's goal. It was the same recipe, the late deep runs that comes in. And Bruno is alone. No, Casemiro is alone, and he can't follow all the deep late runs that comes into our box. So Ten Hag needs to figure this out. He needs to play with two deep-lying playmakers. We will probably see an improvement when we have Amrabat.
And Casemiro together, finally.
My chair.
Yeah. Jim Ratcliffe is in the house saying we will play 4-2-3-1, best lineup for us, 100%.
Yeah, and I actually think, Jarvis, like I 100% agree what you're saying, right? But if we have a left back and Amrabat is now in that midfield, I don't think the goal that Zaha scores. I don't think the last goal scores against us. Right? Maybe the second goal, because that was a really good work goal, but at the same time, I'm thinking with Amrabat showing up every single part of the field like he's Rain Man, if he's playing in the middle next to Casemiro, he's gonna cover that back four. I could close my eyes now. I've never seen it, and I'm thinking, he's gonna cover that. You know what I mean? So I understand.
We can hope so.
I hope so, actually, but from what I see him playing.
My issue is, Mark, that they are not strong enough individually when it comes to man against man when defending, because we don't have Martinez and we don't have Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Those two guys are fantastic when it comes to defending one against one. And now suddenly we have Lindelof in there and Dalot, and both of them are weak. They are weak physically. They're not strong enough when it comes to defending one against one, and that's a big problem. So then we have to shield with two midfielders. So Ten Hag needs to change his 3-1-6 to a 3-2-4-1.
I'm gonna use mixed words here and say Amrabat the tank.
The tank.
Amrabat the tank.
Amrabat. Guys, do you see something weird with this picture? Do you see this slope? Mark, what are you sitting on? Are you midget? Come up
no,
a little bit.
It's my laptop. It's my laptop. I have my laptop tilted back.
You're sitting there like it's like. Anyway, so guys, do we agree with this lineup then, or if I may ask you, Jarvis, then what would you do different?
Yes.
Did anyone tell you you're an idiot? But you are an idiot. So what would you do differently here then?
Yeah, first of all, it's about the structure and tactics. I will play with two holding midfielders, and I will put in Hannibal to support the midfield even stronger.
Yeah, I have Hannibal
and
there.
we got to rely on our attackers.
Oh, no,
like
Garnacho. Hannibal, but it's still saying Bruno for some reason.
Yeah, but I have Hannibal. Okay, but I don't think he will drop Bruno.
That's the thing. I don't think he will drop Rashford and Bruno on Saturday, because Saturday is kind of like a...
Okay, hypothetically speaking, this is our kind of we're just having a discussion. I give up on Ten Hag here, because it mattered, Jarvis. Every time we do this, we never get it right anyway.
To be fair, this is the kind of argument you want to have, but in the way when all the players are performing well, you know what I mean? So it's like, I would like to be fair, I don't mind him dropping Bruno. I would like to see it, because I want to see the team perform consistently well and stick to the principles, which I saw in the Crystal Palace game,
Yeah.
So if he does drop Bruno and Rashford, then definitely it's going to be Hannibal in there.
Yeah.
But if he only drops one of the two, I would think the captain would be the one to stand on the field. You know what I mean?
I agree with Rushmano is saying. Amrabat is big unit, loves to tackle. So if we want to really play rough in the midfield, 100% put in Amrabat, and Magebury. He's also rough, and Casemiro. Those three together is probably very solid. But you need something creativity in the front as well. So therefore, Magebury will not start, according to my opinion. But we will see, guys. We will see. Big up, Mark. You say you're chilled. 100% you're chilled. He's Trini, right? Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Yeah.
I'm just excited to see Reguilon and Amrabat in the same field, because Reguilon covers a lot of ground and he tracks back really well, and Amrabat picks up a lot of space. So I think the left side might become our strongest defensive side when the two of them are on the field.
Yeah. Reports were saying that Reguilon is in contention to play for Saturday. He's coming back.
But is he
Question
fit
is, will
enough
he
to
start?
start?
I don't know. Should we call him? Hey, Reggie. It's Reggie
Regular
time.
Dawn.
Regaton.
Reggaeton.
Mr.
Ja, man.
Bombastic. Call him fantastic. Oh. Reggie. Let's go, people. Listen,
you
what
know,
is yours?
He's been out. Regulon has been out. Seldomly players come directly in from injuries, and Ten Hag needs to take it easy because we don't have any other fullbacks, so he needs to play him a little bit more carefully in the beginning. I would say that he should probably start on the bench if he's fit, and we got to ease him into the team. So Daly will probably start at the left back, and I see Lindelof on the right, and Maguire starting as a centre back if Reguilon don't starts.
Rajat has a question, and I can answer that question because there was reports that both those three players will be available after the international break. They're already training. Exciting.
Okay.
Exciting.
Oh, Mainu.
Gary O'Brien, top chat, boys. Top chat to you. Thank you for coming in here, coming in raw, having his Lindelof as a right back. No, I don't know. I'm tired of this jinxing, but it's a positive headache. The only thing is, for right now, we need those points. That's what we need, those points. I'm going to ask you guys before we close the shop, score predictions. You think it will be a scoring goal? You think Højlund will score a hat-trick?
I don't know. I'm saying 2-0, and that's my score prediction. I said that earlier, and I'm sticking with that one, right? But I hope Højlund proves me wrong because I think this guy got goals in him.
I didn't get to see the match prediction today that you had earlier today, but Brentford, for me, they have a good team. They are like the Moneyball team. As you know, they find undervalued players looking at metrics that others have overlooked. So they find gems who will fit into their style. If you ever have seen the Moneyball film with Brad Pitt, that's what they do. They use computers and metrics to figure out and find the best players, and they have found some gems. And you see, for example, Mbuemo, how he works in their system, and Wissa, he scores a lot of goal. I really like the Danish defensive midfielder Nørgaard. He's extremely good. I have even said that we should buy him and have him at United because he's really good. And they have good center backs like Collins and Pinnock. So it's a hard team to beat.
You did a mark there.
It's something wrong with the.
Did somebody say you're an idiot? We said it 3 times.
Yeah, you said it 3 times.
Three. Respect.
But I just want to say, I think Brentford is a hard team, and they played against Arsenal a couple of weeks ago, and they lost 1-0, I think. So they're a hard team to beat. And they only lost 1-0 against Newcastle away. So it's not going to be an easy game. I predict we will struggle to score. And if we win, we will win 1-0.
1-0.
Yes.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Mark said it before as well, that every team that comes to Old Trafford, they come like it's a cup final. Every team, it happens. But the same team goes away to other grounds and just have a stinker. But as soon as they come to Old Trafford, they put in like it's a World Cup final. You know what I mean? Guys, listen, Jimmy is saying here, 3-1 to Manchester United. I'm towing the same line as you, Jimmy. As well, Edward Reed is also saying 3-1 to Manchester United. That's also my score prediction. Rush Maynard is saying 2-0 to Manchester United. Alien Tenno, will go crazy to say 4-0 to Manchester United. Imagine Dragons, 4-0, right?
Alien.
Peter is more positive than us today.
Did you hit your head when you slipped on Old Trafford last week?
No. You know what?
No, you always say we lose, Peter.
He saw Højlund
Good to be
live.
more positive, man.
It saw Højlund live. That's the thing.
That's what's up, man.
2-0 to Manchester United. Bandar in my opinion, what it's saying. 3-0 says Nigel Flynn. We are getting positive, but one person that is not lately positive is actually Jarle. He's saying 2-2, a draw. He doesn't.
Jarle is a realist. He's a realist.
Yeah.
He's Norwegian.
3-2. Yeah, he's definitely 3-2, including Onana blunder. Oh, Okay. Eesh. I don't want that. I
Madhouse.
I want, you know what, Madhouse. You know what I wish for? I wish for Onana redemption, right? I wish a clean sheet for Onana. That's what I wish for, right? That's
Me
what I
too.
wish
He
for.
needs it.
My heart says like 4-0. Yeah, of course I'm patriotic red. My mind says 3-1 because I think we will concede a goal, depending on how who starts in the defense. Ivo Bosic is saying I can see Hoyland scoring a hat trick, but we will lose 4-3. Okay. And what is Eamon saying as well? Big up to you guys from Ireland. Big up to you, my friend, as well. You just missed our Irish friend Jay Daly having the biggest rant of his life today. George, what are you saying? Jeff, sorry, backlash coming. 4-0 United. Backlash coming. Are we angry? Are we angry? Are
To
we
be
gonna?
fair, like I can't disagree with the possibility of United scoring a few goals because if we have a solid back line with an actual left back that overlaps, the crosses and stuff, there'll be a lot of service for Hoyland and like as we see, like this guy has got the stuff. He's been advancing game by game. He's been learning the speed, everything. He's been using it to his advantage. So I could be positive for this weekend. It's Brentford at the end of the day. They're a good team. We're not underestimating them, but we could beat Brentford.
Yeah,
They don't have Ivan Tony, so they're not as much of a big, huge threat. You know what I
Mr.
mean?
O'Brien. Mr. O'Brien, just answer your question. Jay is back on regularly. Always do the post-match reaction show, and also regularly on Wednesdays. But since there was a Champions League yesterday, we didn't do it, so we postponed it today. So every Wednesday and every post-match reaction show is Jay Daly. Call a spade a spade. So big up to all of you, please. Jay Daly lives here, by the way. Personal terms, not a problem, as long as he can speak his mind. Welcome. So, guys, I am. Ivo Bosic is saying now 4-9, right? Like, yeah. They, yeah. 2-1 United is what ITNT is saying. On that positive note, though, it's I'm feeling positive. I'm still getting over the wounds from the other day. So come tomorrow, I'm starting to get more delusional, giddy. You know, come Saturday, I'm getting pumped, and we are going to war, people. Are you with me? Let's
Yeah,
go to war.
we have no other choice. We need to go again and try to win. It's the only way to turn this around. We need to win a game.
We need to win the
That's
game.
important, and I think Ten Hag is determined. I think he wants to change this. The problem is we have fallen so deep. I think, as I said earlier, that Ten Hag, he is the right manager, but can he get us out of this mess? It's a very different game at the moment because the pressure is getting higher. It's like a pressure cooker, and it's now on full steam. So I hope that Ten Hag knows how to fix the vent and get out the pressure in it and get us back on track again. I really hope so.
You know, the fire truck of Manchester United has been parking. It hasn't been come up because Rashford is not on fire anymore. Last season, the fire truck came like in every single Saturday, every single Sunday. You know, came 3 times a week because Marcus Rashford was on fire. But today they're like, you know, I don't know, recession maybe. They don't get much service anymore. But I do hope that he comes to life. I do hope that our team starts kicking off right now. I do hope that they learn something. They're hungry. They're angry. They want to make a statement. They disappoint the fans the other day. And I think they will show some reaction here. So, rip it up. 6-0 to United. Come on, boys.
Big score.
Mick, I have a comment here that came earlier from Rush Mano. Maybe you want to comment on that.
You can comment.
Sources close to the Galatasary group say that the news of Jim Ratcliffe's restructure bid amount to another pressure tactics designed to make them increase their own bid. It's from Lawton Times.
Big facts. Big facts.
Can be. They, I mean, they haven't really put a bid since before Ramadan, so they're very confident. Anything else but fifth or fourth a bid and stuff like that is all, you know, paper talk in certain ways from, you know, who and stuff like that. And the rest is just being a regurgitation and somebody's like writing a school paper essay, like, you know, doctor's degree. with a lot of creativity writing, but they feel quite confident. Sources from there, they are, basically feel like they're victors in a way. We covered this yesterday, basically plausible causes, what this mean, that Ratcliffe has discovered that he cannot compete. He's been blown out of the water, and probably said, like, we're coming to the last lap of the F1 Grand Prix. I still want to be part of it, but I'm going from 69% to 25. Tells me that I'm lost, right? And this is my last throw of the dice. But he knows also that if he does that, Qatar can at any moment, just on a click of a finger, increase with a couple more millions or billions. So you know what I mean? For them, it's just an end game. Like, they're just waiting. And if you have those resources, like, you don't have to entertain any further. They're not stupid businessmen, but they're not going to take them. They're not going to be taken for fools either, right? Exactly. Anyone that worked down there, that they are smart businessmen as well. It's like, I know that you have $10 in your pocket, Jarvis, and I'm selling you this apple, but you only want to pay me $2. But when push comes to shove, you will put the money on the table if you really want that apple, if you're hungry. And that's kind of a little bit like this. So let's say that it's the last Texas Hold'em or poker game, like,
But how do you know? How do you know that I have $10 in my pocket?
Because I can see. No, but I'm calm because I know that Qatar will get it. I know. But the only thing that they're fearing is that the Glazers is not going to sell. But however, they feel confident that they are going to sell, or it's been sold, or vice versa. But anyway, it's coming to the financial situation right now that the Glazers cannot afford to run this club in. Either if they wanted to stay to 2025, 26, where's the money coming from? Like, you see what happened with the stadium. They are basically scraping, like, they're selling tickets. Another evidence that we don't have any money. Yeah. Or we're so desperate that we are selling 2,000, 10,000 tickets to mix with our own home ground stand. That gives you another sign that they have no money. So you can play your cards to say, I'm Glazers, like, I'm going to play my game, but you've been outed in a way that the financial report, they still have to the 31st of October to, put it. But the reason why they're holding back as well, because they cannot put, like, that they sold the club or that the sales process is still ongoing, right?
Yeah.
But their hand's been called. And this is what people are saying, like, you will hear something in October. We are in October. But
yeah, when is the financial report due? Is it the 31 of
usually
October?
the financial reports, by consistency, every year by the 20th, 22nd of September, it's always on clockwork. This time around, no. This is something weird. Glazers are hiding. They don't want to disclose. So they've been they have a suspension to the 31st of October. Right.
Okay.
So whoever wants to come in makes logic and sense. Whoever wants to come in wants to have their own budget. Because it makes no sense if you're selling the club to do a financial statement and a budget plan for next year, like next physical business year, if you're not going to be around. The new owner is going to put that in place. And we're now heavily linked to two sporting directors as well, which is Paul Mitchell and this Italian guy that was in Atletico Madrid as well. Came out and reported there. I can't remember his name. But that's telling you that there's widely reported that a lot of people don't laughing about Paul, John Murta and stuff like that. I was reading in one football app as well. Nobody believes that he's a real guy. He's a prop, basically. He's a prop. And he's there being put in place to sabotage. That's all. It's just, I see it. I call it. So everything is coming out right now. And I'm tired of it. I just want this to happen, and it will happen. This is certain acquisitions takes 2 years to complete. We're coming into the 11th month because they came out and announced the strategical initiatives, just Thanksgiving. There was about in 20th of November, something like that, 17th of November. So by then we should have something. What most people believe as well.
Yeah, I just hope that the bid is accepted and we can have new owners, because the club is in a mess at the moment.
Yeah,
But
and big up to Lawton. Yeah, big up to Lawton, because I remember Lawton also said the same thing that I was saying back in May or June, that Night 2 Holding Foundation felt that they was just using Sir Jim Ratcliffe as a prop, as a smokescreen all the time. That the bid was never real. He was just there in bed with them because they know each other, and the whole shadow bidding process is designed that you don't see what the other one is bidding. It's like you online, like you're bidding for an item and you have it to a certain time and clock. You don't see what the other person is bidding until the clock is run out and you've been awarded. There's a site called Tradera here in Sweden. You can do bidding for certain items.
I see Edward Reed here give you a question. He says, "So Mick, you're up like 90% that Qatar had
I don't put any. This is my personal belief. So whatever I say here is my personal belief. Because the way the fan base are today, they will clip you for what you're saying. So I'm not going to say anything, but I can just say that I always remain, calm regarding this process. Because if you understand how mergers and acquisitions happens, if you have multiple people on this podcast that are experts talking, we had Swedish Rumble on. He's a merger and acquisition litigator, like a lawyer, professional lawyer in sports. Paul White. We've been having numerous podcasts. Going more into detail about the overall structure of overall bid. I mean, sure, there's NDAs in place, but there's I have over 30,000 contacts on LinkedIn, and I lived in the Middle East, so I know the 92 Holding Foundation. I know people, I know people in UAE, Saudi. I lived and worked there, and I advised them. So, yeah, whatever they are telling me, I cannot tell you. You know what I mean? It's like you have integrity, you respect, alhamdulillah. You know what I mean?
Edward Reed says, "I got you, Mick. Fair enough. You can ring me later, lol."
Yeah, I'm confident. As I said, the only thing that I'm not confident on, and I towing the line with 92, is that if Glazers are not selling, but they have to sell because they have no other options. You wouldn't go to a strategical evaluation, or if you were broke. That was pretty much the cry, that we cannot run this anymore. So I'm confident they will sell. And even if Ratcliffe comes in, that's not a good deal for us, to be honest. It would not be a good deal, because he would pretty much be another Glazer. He was just basically drive the Ferrari and keep the Glazers in the back seat. He would pretty much be appointed as a CEO, somebody that's kind of, a face forward, while the Glazers are taking a back seat. But people forgetting that you have 4 siblings more, that, there's 6 siblings sharing this deal, right? Equal cake. So this deal only favors 2 of them. So I think it's a lot of media spin and speculations at the moment, keeping this media circus alive for clicks. You don't see Bloomberg clicking and creating sensational stories all the time. You don't see Reuters creating, only the Times and Independence and all them.
I see Evo has a question here for you. If Sir Jim buys out the 31% of Class A shares, wouldn't that remove any legal issues? He had down the line buying the club outright.
Yeah, but that doesn't
basically goes in the other direction and buys out the 31 Class A.
Well, yeah. I mean, why would he do that? Why would he buy the Class A shares? That's nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but to avoid the legal issues, as we mentioned, because.
But that means that he's not buying a Class B shares. Is the Glazer shares? Class A shares is the Lindsay Train, Bowen Group, Aries. All them. They're the minority. They hold the minority of the 31, and a majority of the 31. Yeah, what you could have done is buy them out, just to buy them up. But why would you do that? What you want is the price, eye on the price. You want part of the 69%. So what he's done is going in on 25% and less throw the dice. So what he said, okay, we will pay you minority shareholders a little bit and Glazers a little bit. And then we will structure something within 3 years or 4 years. We will buy you out on a premium. So buy now, pay later, right? Glazers want cash. It's the one thing that we know is Glazonomics. That's what we learn as a fan base is they want cash. They need cash ASAP. I mean, they stopped them to taking dividends. It's been 10 months. They haven't been able to cash out from the club. So when you lost that cash cow, you lost interest in the club. So you're looking forward just to cash in. I mean, it's logical, right?
It's true. It's true. I say Alien 10 also said the Class A shares are toilet paper.
That's big fucks.
Well, in a sense they are, but they can be worth a lot of money if the Qataris comes in for the shareholders, existing shareholders.
Because like one of the actions that the shareholders in that group of Class A shares were taking is because when the Glazers said they're not selling and the shares dropped from I think it was $28 to back to 19.
25.
It was 25, but it dropped to $19. The Class A shareholders was like, look, basically, we are not going to get top dollar. Are they even going to be of the value that they could have been, that we could sell them for? You understand? So
no, but the timeline itself, it was both bidders were expecting to have a resolution before the transfer window. That's been confirmed, though. But the process halted due to the transfer window because we had limited of money. That was a strategical decision from the club, not to spoil the transfer window. That's been confirmed. We were the first one to say this as well. And everyone told the line, and everyone now is saying the same thing. And I also said that, once everything is completed, it will start again. What's taking place is that if Sir Jim Ratcliffe has been given a little bit of a lifeline to see, like, okay, let's see what you can come with. Because if the winning bid is on the table, you can see what David Hellier and everything will say. The bid has been blown out of the water. It's been dead, right? But they give him a little bit more time to see what he can come up with. So that's Qatar is confident, right? Qatar at any moment when you're coming to the, fold or raise, at the end of the day when you're playing poker, they will raise, and I was like, call your cards. Okay, I raise you. Boom. You know what I mean? And then I will take the keys. But from a fan perspective, as a fan, of course, it's frustrating seeing how he performing on the pitch and how he's affecting not only fan base, but the overall, staff at Carrington. They don't even know if they have jobs. Will they be safe? The ladies in the cantina, the receptionist, been there for years. Kathy, everyone, you know what I mean? It's just it's not fair. And then you see that we are now linked to a new sporting director. That means that John Murta is out. We're probably going to have a new CEO as well.
Paul Mitchell.
I want Ragnick.
Ragnick as a CEO.
And Paul Mitchell as DOF. Dream team.
Yeah, director of football, Paul Mitchell.
Oof, that would be a dream team.
Pundit in as.
Or Ragnick.
Listen, Ragnick almost got us Enzo, Vardiol, Caicedo, Julian Alvarez. For less than 50 million, all four of them. Come on, guys.
Who blocked it? Huh? Do you know who blocked it?
John Murto.
Yes, he did. He's a corporate man.
It was like he's not confident that these signings are going to work. 50.
You know what his job is? You know what his real job is? He's not a sporting director, but he's there as a stopgap. His job is to sabotage. That's his real job. Whenever you have a transfer window, you don't hear anything until the 2 weeks when it's left of the transfer window. He's been sitting on twiddling on his ass, going on holidays. Totally frustration.
They need to send him to Barcelona next time.
Yeah. He wanted Rabiot again, Ten Hag wanted Amrabat. That he made this as a priority. They fucked him around, so he had to go at the end of the day just to get a loan deal with an option to buy for next season. We will buy him for sure. But again, the club wanted to force a Rabiot on it. Mason Mount was also forced upon him. He was his second choice. His first choice was Xavi Simons. So
all I know
he didn't get
is
his
that
purchase.
All I know is that I hope Barcelona get relegated or banned because Frankie need to be in our midfield. I don't know.
Edward, be nice.
It's just banter. Alien, can you wipe your ass now after the injury? Lol.
Of course. He didn't injure his bunghole, didn't he?
No.
Okay, we've been trash talking now. Anyway, this guys, this is a therapy session. Thanks, whatever I'm saying, this is my personal reflection, and I'm sharing a little by my analogy and my feelings. Right. Never are we here to clickbait people. Somebody was writing I'm not gonna read this out. Edward Simbin, red card.
I'm gonna read it out, but you can read it yourself.
I'm not gonna
funny.
read this out. You can read this. All right, guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. We had there was a heavy stream. It's with a heavy heart, but I hope you feel a little bit of a lighter, mental, united, healthy. Jay Daly had a massive speech. We all had a speech. Nuruddin was broken. Nuruddin is having a show tonight. Hopefully he's better. Will you jump on there, Jarvis, or
Tonight? I don't know. I haven't checked my Twitter. Maybe he has sent me the link.
in fairness,
Maybe.
lads, employ people that they aren't qualified for the job, so you can manipulate them 100%. That's what it is.
True.
That's been the Glazers strategy all along. That's what they gave Ollie the job as well. He had no qualification whatsoever. But he did well because there was no crowd and there was COVID season, COVID Cup. Anyway,
Yeah.
I have nothing more to say. I run out of words. But
It's been a good stream. We have a game on Saturday. Let's hope we win it. We have to turn this around. And maybe the club will be sold in the next months. And then maybe we'll have a good January window. So it's not all hopeless. I think we still have a chance. So let's just keep it positive, guys.
Yeah, Evo Bosses, you reminded me something. Whoever is playing fantasy Premier League football, tomorrow is the deadline. Remind us.
I still haven't got the FPL link.
All right, guys. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Cheers, everyone. Peter, hope you're healing well as well. Everyone that's been donating. Angie, super legend. We have Tokos with the super chat. Nigel Flynn, Muhammad Ali, Rush Mano, Alien Tenno, King Stash that became a member, King Stash that donated the super chat as well. Everyone that joined us, that made this milestone today possible, that achieved 17,000. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's get it to 3,000 more by the end of the year, so we'll be on 20.
Yes,
big up to all of you guys.
Please subscribe and like the video. We have reached 17,000 and we need more subscribers. We want to keep spreading the message about Glazers out and having good discussions and involving the VAR room, the community of the soul of this channel. And thanks all to Tox, Nigel, Mohammed, Rushmano, Alien, King Stash, who contributed with super chats, and of course Angie with her membership, raining down memberships on the community. So thank you all.
Thank you. Right, it's been enough of this. AI mini-me.
It looks like you.
Definitely looks like Mick.
It's not me. Fantastic. We do have an assistant called AI Bella as well. If you can see this morning, it's an experiment that we're going to start doing as well. Big up. We miss more females to come in and speak. So if you're, if you want to come on, if you're a lady, come in and have a say, so we can have a little bit of diversity, because, we hate to have just a sausage party here. You know what I mean? 100%. But big up. We're back tomorrow for the managers live press conference, covering it live as we speak. Hopefully the journalist is going to ask proper questions. We know how that's going to go. So if you want to join me for that one tomorrow, I don't know what time it is, but I think it's usually 1:45 UK time. I'm going live covering that, and join me tomorrow afternoon. Mark, you're also welcome to join Colin and support me there. We can listen to it together. Jarvis, I know you're working, selling tires like crazy right now because winter's coming, right?
Yes, it is. Winter
have
is
snow.
coming, indeed. Well, there's some snow in the air, but not on the ground yet. So this is
Unbelievable.
northern Norway for you.
Unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, please thank you for tuning in again. Fantastic. Big up to all of you. Jarvis, big up Mark. See you guys tomorrow. Thank you, Jay, for coming in as well. Thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's all, folks. Peace, love, and onana. No, banana, right? Wasn't it?
Banana.
Bye for all. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you
Cheers.
later, guys.
Yes.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.